In this video, we are talking about tons of severe weather across the U.S. The Storm Prediction Center has put out enhanced risks for today and tomorrow. On top of that, they have highlighted elevated severe weather risk for Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday as well. If that wasn't enough, the GFS is showing something very odd in the Gulf that we have to pay very close attention to. Welcome back, y'all. Ryan Hall here with the weather forecast. Things are heating up out there, literally and figuratively, when it comes to the weather. We've got a lot to talk about throughout the U.S. and even in the tropics, so let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. All right, starting off today, looking at that Storm Prediction Center outlook, and look at this, guys. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather and two separate slight risks, one in the central and southern portion of the U.S. and the other one way up here in the northwest. Look at this. We talked about these storms yesterday. Some severe weather is possible from portions of Oregon into Washington into Idaho. Lewiston, you're included in this. Enterprise, Baker City, the I-84 corridor there. You guys could see some big time storms today with hail, damaging winds, and maybe even a nadir or two. It's a real possibility. It's a small one, but it's possible. And then as we go further to the south and to the east, you can see we have a much bigger area for severe weather today. If you're in the yellow, you're in a 2 out of 5 slight risk, and if you're in that darker orange, you're in a 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for severe weather today. This includes Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Springfield, Missouri. This also includes Fort Smith, Arkansas, all the way up there into southeastern portions of Kansas. The main driving factor behind today's risk is wind, okay? So if you're in the red here, you got a 30% chance of severe wind, and if you're in the hatched area right here, you have a 30% chance of significant severe wind that could cause pretty significant damage. It's not always the tornado that we got to worry about, okay? Sometimes straight line damaging winds can cause much more problems in a widespread area than tornadoes. But if we do look at the tornado outlook, we have a 2% probability of seeing a tornado in the green here within 25 miles of a given point, and this includes Tulsa, Fort Smith, Springfield. But once again, the tornado threat is low. But look at this, all the way up here in Oregon and Idaho, you guys have a 2% chance of naders as well. We've seen 1 million naders in Alabama, Kansas, and all these places. So if you can do so safely and it's not hurting anybody, if it's out there in the middle of nowhere in northeastern Oregon, send me a quick snap of it. Okay, enough about today. What about tomorrow? We have an enhanced risk of severe weather tomorrow as well, from Washington, D.C. all the way up to Philadelphia, close to New York City. Of course, eastern Pennsylvania is included. A lot of central New York, all the way up to upstate New York. You guys are included. Syracuse and Albany, and then a slight risk that goes all the way up to Canada and all the way down into central portions of North Carolina. This is once again going to be driven by straight line damaging winds. The tornado threat is extremely minimal with this one, but we're going to watch all of this unfold in the timing right now with the simulated radar. So why do we have an enhanced risk of severe weather today? Well, here we go. By 2 p.m., literally by 2 p.m. today, we are going to have big time storms coming through southeastern Kansas into central portions of Missouri. These are going to be packing some big time hail and some strong winds. And as they go further to the south and to the east, it looks to me like they might try to maintain their discreteness, which means that those updrafts might be a little bit more robust and we might see a bigger hail problem with this. But certainly the wind is still going to be a big deal as we go through 5 p.m. Some of these storms are now making it into the northern portion of Arkansas, still going on back here in portions of Kansas as well. This is a weird run of the HRRR. A lot of the recent forecast models for this storm system showed this thing becoming a mesoscale convective system and then racing off to the south and east. This staying multicellular for a long time is a little bit of a different scenario. So it'll be interesting to see if that's what happens, but it doesn't matter really. You're going to see strong storms all up and down that slight and enhanced risk area as we go through 11 p.m., midnight tonight. But as you can see, right around 1 or 2 a.m., that's when things really start to die out, especially there right before they get to Nashville, right before they get into central portions of Mississippi. These things lose a lot of steam and we don't have to really worry about them. Lots of heavy rain expected overnight into the early morning hours tomorrow in Memphis, so watch out for that flash flooding. But really now our attention is being transferred over here to the northeast as that boundary from these storms is going to continue to spark up new storms as they go over here. That's why we have that enhanced risk for tomorrow. Look at this, noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m. tomorrow. We've got a strong line of storms from North Carolina up through Virginia, all the way into the panhandles of West Virginia and Maryland. And then, of course, right here into central portions of Pennsylvania, all the way up into New York. These are going to have strong winds, lots of lightning, maybe some hail, and the very, very, very isolated tornado or two. I would be surprised if we saw a tornado. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, you're going to see this come through about 4 or 5 p.m. tomorrow. Allentown, same thing. Scranton, same thing. look at this, guys. This is a widespread system, even up here towards Ottawa and Montreal. You guys are going to be getting in on some of that heavy rain, some lightning, some thunder, some good old springtime thunderstorms coming through, as really the biggest portion of severe weather is going to be kind of focused on the southern side, I believe. Look at this. Maybe a very strong storm between Trenton and New York City by 7 p.m. And then, of course, it's going out to sea down here in the Delmarva area by 7 p.m. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Definitely some strong winds, some small hail. Make sure you are prepared for those severe thunderstorm warnings and maybe a tornado warning or two, and just have a way of knowing what's going on. But for the most part, this is nothing to fret about. This is nothing to get too excited or scared about here in the Northeast. This is a garden variety thunderstorm right here. All right, so after tomorrow, the severe weather train does not stop, man. We've got outlooks for day 3, day 5, and day 6. Let's start with day 3, as we do have a lot of cape up here in northeastern portions of Oklahoma, but there's a little bit of a cap in the atmosphere down there. So this will be an interesting day for storm chasers to see, you know, what's going to pop up. Are we going to see something? Are we not? It's going to be like a loaded gun scenario where there's a bunch of cannons up in the air, but you don't know if they're going to go off or not. That's what that cape represents right there. It's a lot of fuel in the atmosphere, but actually the further north you go, the less capped it gets. So maybe we will see some storms start on the northern extent of this energy field and then kind of race down to the south and east, and kind of like what we've seen with a lot of these systems here recently. Instantaneous flash rate shows something like this. You can see those storms kind of forming up, interacting with that warm front, and then racing down to the south and east. This is a very common pattern for May and June. I call this the summertime slippy slide, as storms often set up along a boundary here where we have lots of warm air coming up, kind of colliding with some slightly cooler air in the north, and then just creating a channel for storms to go like this. But look, as we go into the future, as we get into Thursday, we got another area of potential storms up here. And then, of course, Friday, we've got maybe a big possibility for storms as we go even further east. Here's one of the reasons why we're confident. If we look at the upper air data, the 500 millibar wind speeds here on Thursday, you can see by 11 p.m., we do have a trough, okay? We've got a trough coming in. We've got those warm, moist air parcels in the Gulf of Mexico flying up into that wall and splattering, okay? That creates mater juice or nader juice, you know, whatever you want to call it, and that is why we're expecting storms up here. Lots of lift, lots of free roaming energy here in the Gulf that's allowed to go up as far north as it wants, and then it's colliding with this system as it comes down into the central and then eventually eastern portions of the U.S., okay? So here we are Friday at 5 p.m. That trough is ejecting off to the north and east, so this will certainly cause some problems, but what kind of problems? It's too early to really tell. We can take a look at that lower level jet and see that this is also going to have some effect on the surface, or at least a little bit closer to the surface. And this is kind of concerning. Maybe on Friday we have a little bit more of an elevated tornado threat, because if this continues to be the case, because the way the storm is set up, if we see a supercellular mode and we see a lower level jet winds in excess of 30, 40, 50 knots, the tornado threat is definitely going to be elevated there. So it's too early to know. We don't know if we're going to see supercells. We don't know if we're going to see multicellular systems. We don't know if we're going to see a multi-quasi-linear convective system. We just don't know. By the way, while all this is happening, Texas is roasting, guys, okay? I want you to look at Texas here. We're seeing consistent daily high temperatures above 100 degrees, and we even get close to 110 degrees near Wichita Falls as we go through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, especially as we get closer to Friday and Saturday. It's going to be downright hot here in the West Central Plains. Please understand that heat stroke is a big deal. It's a serious issue. Be prepared for this heat in Amarillo, Lubbock, all the way over to Altus, Oklahoma, and maybe even, you know, into Wichita Falls, Vernon, Texas, those areas. It is going to be a scorcher for the next several days, day after day after day. Anyways, that gets out of here, and then we're good, right? We're in the clear. We're having fun in the sun. Am I right? Am I right? No. All right, so why not, Ryan? Why ain't we gonna have fun in the sun? Well, let's take a look at the GFS model here. And by the way, look at how odd this is. Look how weird this is. Okay, first of all, we got a hurricane forming on May 24th. It's going towards Florida. It crosses Florida. It remains hurricane status all the way out here into the Atlantic, which is quite a bit cooler than what you would need right now. And then for some reason it goes, nope, I'm not going out to sea. I'm coming back for you, Carolinas. Boom. And this is just absolutely bizarre and also very unlikely. I hit on this yesterday. I said that the GFS is showing this hurricane. It's not going to happen. I am actually very surprised that it's still showing this. So we're going to talk more about this as we go forward. Just know that the GFS deterministic models are really the only ones showing anything here. The ensembles show a little bit of convergence. This isn't a serious threat yet. Now, I'm going to make another video probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week. And if we're still talking about this then it's a real signal. It's something that might actually happen. But right now, this is all we've got. We've got this really odd storm forming according to the GFS and then doing a weird slingshot boomerang right into North Carolina. So I don't think that this is going to happen. Very, very unlikely. But the GFS has been consistent with this for the past several days. You can see here on the latest run, the 6Z, it still takes it into Florida, but that weird slingshot move just is not there anymore, which makes much more sense. The National Hurricane Center isn't convinced on this, and there's really no reason to really talk about this until the National Hurricane Center highlights it in their forecast. They do that now. They officially have started releasing their outlooks. So every day they're going to release their outlook as to whether or not they think anything's going to happen within the next 5 days. And right now they're not saying anything, but this is still 6 or 7 days out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm interested. This is a good reminder though that we are getting close to hurricane season. So don't be scared, be prepared. If you live in a hurricane prone area, now's your time to refresh your hurricane preparedness plan and make sure that you've got everything ready to go. And also subscribe to this channel because we cover hurricanes like crazy here this year with our live streams. I really don't think that there's a possible way that you could have better coverage than what we're going to provide. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. I just think that we've got a really cool team. We've got a good idea and you guys are going to love it. All right, we don't have a sponsor for today's video, so I'm just going to sponsor myself. Let's have a shout out to today's sponsor, the Ryan Hall Mall, the best place for weather nerds. We've got everything you need for you or that weather weenie you know and love. And here's the thing, our signature designs you've seen before, like the Supercell shirt, Nader Juice, Storm Seeker, all of those shirts are going to be gone once we sell out. I want to make new designs every month or so. So once these are gone, they're gone. And then we're going to move on to the next batch of designs. So if you've ever wanted to have one of these shirts, if you want to support me, the team behind me, the Storm Chasers, and of course the Y'all Fund, now is the time to do it. Make sure you sign up for email alerts while you're over there on the website, shopryanhall.com, so that you get notified when those new designs come out. And of course, as always, there's a link in the top of the description. Go ahead and click that. Go over to shopryanhall.com and get you some awesome merch. Now, let's get back into the video. So yeah, this could happen. The sea surface temperatures are higher than what they should be this time of year, especially right here in the Gulf. We're above 26 degrees Celsius, which is the temperature that we look for to anticipate strengthening storms. However, there is a lot of vertical wind shear out here, so this thing could very well get torn apart. We don't know yet. Nobody knows. We're doing our best out here, giving you the forecast for today and tomorrow. Hey, huge shout out to all of our members over here. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Guys, I'm hiring, okay? Ryan Hall, y'all, is hiring. We're mainly looking for video editors. If you are an expert video editor, if you think that you could recreate this video or the video I did yesterday with no direction from anybody, apply, okay? We need video editors. Go to ryanhallyall.com, click the job section and submit your application. It might take us a while to reply to you. We are very overwhelmed right now, but we do need somebody, so go ahead and go over there and apply. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.